Friends, it's Julian from Beauty Cosmos, and we're back. It's another month. It's a new month of new books. They're coming out this time in January of 2021. So it's the November solicitations between Diamond, which has all the indie books, Marvel from PRH, and DC from Lunar. And so I have painstakingly found 10 books worth recommending this month. Now, some of them were really easy, and some of them were like kind of scraping bottom of the barrel. My belief is that there are so few launches outside of Marvel happening in the beginning of the year, which is the complete opposite of the 2021 beginning of the year, where you had so many launches. And the first 5 months were nonstop of new series launches. So the paper shortage is massively affecting it. So a lot of the publishers that we usually look at don't have anything to start us off with at the beginning of the year. So I found us 10 titles that seem interesting. Some are obvious and some are not so obvious. And we're going to do again five series this first video, and then five more series the next video. What I'm going to try this time is that we're going to split them into two categories. So the first video will be five books that are specifically from the Diamond solicitation, so more of the indie titles. And then we're going to look at five of the, I'll call it the super titles from the superhero brands, which are mostly Marvel and DC. And so we've got a couple of titles on each side. The obligatory trade paperback will be in the final video, second video. So if you're interested in looking at the five indie titles and just want to know about the trade paperback at the end, please, you'll have to visit the second video. In any event, let us begin and look at five titles that'll come out in the month of January. The first one, you just can't get around it. It's going to be Saga. The return of Saga. It has been gone for nearly 3 years, maybe even 4 years, and maybe you've never heard of Saga. Well, it wasn't the most proposed title at the time at BD Cosmos, and that's perfectly okay. But it is one of, and you know me, best science fiction stories being written today. It is not something that I can't see it ever be translated into theaters. Maybe a weird TV series, but it is so far out there, and it's really something else. The art style from Fiona Staples is simply amazing. Brian K. Vaughan has been writing this series. Well, we've had the first 54 issues, and so the second half of the series, issue 55, is returning. And the great thing about this particular series returning to Image is that it's staying at its all price point of $2.99 a book. So it's just like those Spawn books. It's $2.99. You just can't get around it. But what if you haven't read anything from Saga? Well, that's perfectly okay. Because at BD Cosmos, we have all the trade paperbacks, all 8 of them. We have all 3 of the hardcover editions of Saga. And then finally, the full compendium, all 54 issues in a softcover bound trade paperback. More of an omnibus, but it's pretty unwieldy. It's very large, but it's very good price point for get all of them, much like the Invincible and the compendiums are. So we've got the compendium for Saga available. If you haven't seen Fiona Staples' art style, here it is. I found a page online of View Comics. I didn't know this existed, but you can see that it is a science fiction type world, but it is a galaxy-spanning universe that she's created with Brian K. Vaughan. And here's my favorite character of the series, Lying Cat. All he does is he can determine if people are lying, and all he says is lying. That is the one word he can say. Otherwise, you can see him growl here. So this is the art style. And if you read you can pause the video and read the text. But I highly recommend Saga. It is. Since it's being re-announced as coming back finally, I've been bombarded with requests for back issues, and honestly, the store has just never kept back issues for Saga. Like, we had very few pulls, if any. And I myself, like Saga for me was a trade paperback pickup every single time he came out. I wasn't picking up the single issues, and even now, I'm I will now keep back issues for Saga because I'm sure once we get this series will end at 108 issues, so we're 55 through 108. People who will be like in issue 80 and 90 will look for back issues at that point from the beginning of the series. So I don't expect it to be the most picked up book by the store or most people, but I highly recommend if you're interested in reading this beautiful story. And I've always compared it as to being Romeo and Juliet in space, and they had a kid, and that kid is basically the bane of all empires, and they must be destroyed. So Romeo and Juliet, because it's from two different warring families that are galaxy spanning, and so I honestly, again, I highly recommend Saga. I will be taking the single issues this time because I'll read them and we'll have a full second half run for the future. Another series that seemed pretty interesting to me from Image again. When I was looking at solicitations, Bolero was the only thing that pumped up to me as from the tagline that seemed very interesting. And so I'll just read it to you right now. A new series from two bright-eyed, bushy-tailed little scamps. A woman running away from a broken heart discovers a mother key into parallel universes. And the rules are, the key can only work on any door. The mother will only let you visit 53 universes. Do not speak to the mother, and never hop more than 53 times. So when I saw 53, it's like, ooh, this could be an ongoing series, at least 50x issues, so people, they go from universe to universe. Turns out it's a 5-part miniseries. But the concept seems pretty interesting. Again, it's science fiction-esque. I forgot to pull up some images, but there are like early pages available. Let's look up image.com, imagecomics.com. I believe there's something for it. Haha, Saga, look at that. Maybe the search function. Bolero. I can type, I swear. Bolero series. If I click on it, view more maybe. Oh no, there's a view inside here. Here we go. So the art style is it's good. I enjoyed it. And then this scene here where they seem to be jumping through a door, and she's like basically being pushed through the door. That's what got me interesting. So Bolero from Image Comics. Next up, Source Point Press. We've got Cover of Darkness. It's one of the reasons I'm recommending the Cover of Darkness is again Canadian support. Is written by two Canadian cousins, so cousins who are Canadian. I believe they're from Ontario, but I'm not entirely sure. And it seems to be like 5 characters who are on a journey, and then they meet all these creatures of the night. I recommended this on Halloween actually, and they're trying to find their friends or something, and it just seemed okay. It's not the I also don't know if it's an ongoing or a miniseries. I would assume a miniseries, but Source Point Press does do some ongoings, and honestly, I'm the concept seemed okay enough, and because they're Canadian writers, I felt like supporting it. Why not? Yeah. So Cover of Darkness. I don't really have much more to say about it, but I do have a lot more to say about Until My Knuckles Bleed. This is from famous Spanish writer and artist Victor Santos, who's most known for I know it's written here. It's on Netflix now. Polar, I believe. Is it? It's and I know Dark Horse publishes it. Dark Horse bestseller Polar. There we go. And so it's a universe in which superheroes are the norm, supervillains are the norm, and you've got this guy who's got these superpowered implants on him, and now he's no longer a villain or a hero. I'm not sure what, but he is a bouncer at a club run by the Russian mob. And if I'm not mistaken, it has his ex superhero girlfriend is also at the club that he bounces for, and now he has to deal with the mental stress of just not being who he used to be and dealing with all the anguish and the pain that it's caused them with these implants have caused them, as as you can see here, you know, and it's it's sort of like that feeling story that you just don't see. And they compare it to Watchmen and Sin City. I did 100% got the Sin City vibe from Until My Knuckles Bleed, and I am a fan of the Victor Santos art style. I haven't read much from him, but I have seen his art a lot. And obviously, a Spaniard, I couldn't not recommend that. It's also from our friends at Happy Tank, which are the Quebec-ish branch of Behemoth. So they will be editing this book for him. And so Behemoth, Happy Tank, sure, why not? It honestly looks really good. And then fifth independent book that we'll be looking at this video is Duel. This one is from a brand new publishing studio called Bliss on Tap. So we've got this worldwide challenge system where people are just challenging each other to a duel to the death. And there's an FBI agent investigating into this, and there's this high schooler is challenging the world's top ranked player at the game of Duel. And this is real life Duel, so it's a killer's game, one to play. And so the concept's like, oh yeah, that could be a movie. So Bliss on Tap, Curtis Martin's Alex Cormack. I haven't actually looked up to see if I've seen these people before. My only issue really is that it's a $4.99 book, but it might be oversized. I don't know if this is a one-shot. I don't know if this is a miniseries or an ongoing. But the concepts seem really interesting, and we also recommend it already so far on our Facebook page. So that is one book that seemed interesting enough for me to recommend. So that was it. 5 videos, five stories that we're looking at for the month of January. Now, we say January, it could be pushed to February or even March, especially Bliss on Tap and being a brand new studio with the paper shortage. Who knows when they'll actually come out? But for us, the solicitations, our orders are due in November for these titles. So if any of these books seem interesting to you, you can definitely go on your Managed Comics page and you can either look at the November 2021 solicitations and say you want to add Until My Knuckles Bleed, and you can just press activate once you're logged into your account. If perchance all you want to do is special order, say the first number, just to see what it looks like, say Duel. So, and then instead here you go in the main page and you place a special order. And I would type in Duel. And hopefully, oh boy, so many of them. Ah, well look, Duel is a 1 of 10. That's interesting. And then you can place order item, and then Rachel and I will get the order, and then we'll add it to our account for you. So that's it, folks. We've looked at 5 series, and we'll look at 5 more that are on the superhero side of things very soon. Thank you so very much for watching this video or listening to this video. And if there is a title on the independent side that you feel we should have recommended, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below. As always, like every other YouTuber, please comment, like this video, and share it to your friends if they're also looking for comic books to read in the next coming months. Thank you so very much, and we'll speak to you very soon with 5 more series to subscribe to. Have a great day and enjoy reading.